Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I got a Town Star video for you here. I know, haven't done many of these in a while, but I wanted to get one out because guess what? The weekly competition is back. Yes. Well, kind of. They decided to launch the weekly competition this week, but they only did it for a few days. It actually ends here in 10 hours, so I think it was about 2.5 days long, which is different than normal. And they've already announced that it is not going to be happening again next week, uh, but it may shortly happen after that. So it's kind of back. It should be back here in the very near future. And it's been months. It really has been months since we've seen the weekly competition. So I'm happy to have it back. Uh, so I decided, it's the first weekly competition in months. Why not try a completely new build, something I've never done before? So here we go. This is my first ever no NFT wine build. And let me start with a caveat. Yes, I do have Express Depot down here. I know it's an NFT. For those of you that are familiar with it, it only reduces a few seconds off your trip to sell. It's an NFT, but I don't consider it one for builds because it doesn't give you any benefit other than that, other than town coin and other than a few seconds. So this is in general a no NFT build. Um, it is a grape, or I should say wine, Pinot Noir wine build. First time I've ever done it. I had some struggles. Um, right now, with 10 hours left, I am 611th place. I'm slowly moving up. I'm trying to get in within that 600 range. Um, and the reason I want to get in that 600 range is the new reward setup that they've done. It's no longer the top 400 that win; it's the top 1,000 that win something. So it helps us that don't have any real NFTs actually get some rewards from it. Because before it was just you needed an NFT or you needed to be very, very, very good just to get in the top 400. Just for awareness sakes, this is the new prize, uh, new placement prizes. Um, so the reason I want to get under 600 is so I can jump to the next tier. Heck, I'm happy with the way, with the way this is going. I'm happy to get in the top 1,000, which, barring no major issues, like I almost ran out of gas a little bit ago. Barring no other major issues, I should be able to oops, get to the 1,000 easily 1,000. But my goal right now is to get to within the 600. This is my build. I really went into it only doing a little bit of research on the wine build. Um, so I made a number of mistakes that slowed me down. I could probably be close to the 400 range if I didn't have to redo a lot of work. It slowed me down quite a bit. I did take the general design off of someone off of YouTube, and I apologize. I forgot to check the name before I jumped on here. So this is not a my own build. I had to make some revisions because, as you can see, I have two mountains. Not the best place to do wine, but still, it's acceptable because I have the mountain here and I have the sand here, which allows me to put things right in this area and get the silicon. Is that what it is? Yeah, the sand mines basically. Um, so I went with that. I had a little bit of an issue when I was trying to get in at first, so I wasn't able to get the land I wanted. But I'm happy with this. I'm taking this one as a learning experience. If I get a reward out of it, a bonus. Basically, what I did was I started with a wool rush. May not have been the ideal approach, but it's what I'm familiar with. I built out the wool rush up here, got to the point where I could build my first set of gas and power plants, which is this little group right here, similar to any other build that I've done videos on. So if you want to check that out, I have a full video of me doing the wool rush into gasoline and getting the gasoline all with no NFTs. So there is a separate video on that. But I got to here and then I realized with the grape build that I need to start building out the rest of it. I went a little bit backwards. I didn't jump right into the grapes because of where I had my wool rush. And I apologize if you hear any noise in the background. They're cutting trees down my neighbor's house. So I apologize for that sound. Uh, so I had my wool rush here, which was right in the middle of that. So instead, I started building out my mines. This stretch here is all mines. For some reason, in the latest version of the game, it doesn't show as mines. So it just shows these guys standing here, coming in and coming out. But I made the mines. I started selling the oak barrels, and then I started selling the wine bottles. Uh, Before I started putting out the grapes. Once I had a good income or steady income from the barrels, uh, the iron, and the wine bottles, I got rid of my wool. And then I started building out these because I was able to afford my first winery at that time. These wineries are a million. So it's a bit of a struggle getting there at first. It took a little bit more time than I had initially expected. And then once I was able to get the first in there, started building out the wine. You can see I still haven't used all the land. The other issue I was having was balancing out my wood and lumber. I kept getting to the point where I was overproducing lumber and they weren't refilling my grapevines. And then I would remove one of these, and all of a sudden I would have an overabundance of wood. Right now I have an overabundance of wood, but they're filling up my wineries. So I'm okay with that balance. And you can see down here, let me turn, he's been sleeping because if I add him in there, it balances it the whole other way. It's all lumber and I have no wood to work with. So I've been bouncing back and forth. If I could figure that out, I think I would have better ranking. I've I've recently added another wine bottle maker and shifted some of the mines to focus on the materials that I need for this, which has helped out a little bit. And like I said, my number is steadily getting better. 604. So I have 10 hours. I'm hoping to get within that 600 range. Um, so if I got that, I, I I would say this is a home run. I've learned a lot. Um, there's definitely some inefficiencies, definitely some things I would change. There's approaches I would change, especially with the wool rush. I would try and figure out how to get it, say, in this little spot here, to be able to do that, and then that would allow me to start building the other stuff out while that's running. That was a challenge that I had that delayed some things. Um, the lumber's been a challenge, and like I said, I almost ran out of gas just a little bit ago because I removed one of my workers uh, to add another lumberjack in there to try and balance some things out. And as soon as I did that, I started losing gas like crazy because I didn't have enough workers to grab this from the sand mine and also from my oil pumps. So I may actually end up removing one more oil pump here shortly and adding another winery. I'm just going through here and checking. I'm just trying to balance it out. I consider doing another sand mine because this silica, sorry, I kept saying silicons, silica. This right now my silica is backed up. So if I add another sand mine, my my wine bottles should produce a little bit better. But I'm afraid I'm going to get an overabundance, and then I'll just sell more. But I'll probably end up putting that here. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. See how it works out. Now that I have you guys on the video, gives you some movement around here. Where are you? There you are. All right, so let's go ahead. I'll test it out. I have 10 hours left. I'll let you guys know in a future video how I did. Again, just pushing for the top 600. I hope you all that are interested in it did go ahead and jump in. Like I said, right now they're not scheduled to have one. At least that's the latest announcement next week. So I'm not expecting one to kick off on Tuesday. They may try and do another shortened version. It sounds like they are working out some kinks. The one thing I did notice, and I'm not going to show you because it puts everything, it messes some things up. If you refresh for one reason or another, it starts all your vines and your trees and plants back to zero. So they basically all reset, which, with these, these vines, they take 7 minutes. So if they all reset at once, it kind of puts everything out of kilter. So it messes a few things up. So I'm trying not to refresh as much as possible now. I hope they resolve that. I hope they resolve the mine disappearing issue. And then I've also noticed that if you refresh it, sometimes these reset back to 0. So you basically lose everything that's in there. It doesn't happen all the time. So I'm not sure if I just didn't see it right, so, which is a very good chance. But this is my build. Let me go ahead and do one more 4 rounds. This is pretty good. No NFTs. As I mentioned before, the only NFT is Express Depot, but that doesn't count. So there's no NFT builds. You can go ahead and use this. I will be making adjustments. It is not perfect. It's probably far from perfect, but it's going pretty well. Right now I'm getting about 35. I think once this goes in there and my bottles start producing quicker, I should be able to bring this up to closer to 40. But I'm still working through some other things. All right, let me just double check this. This is, oh, why is it not picking up the energy from that? All right, I'm gonna look into that. You would think it's right next to my power plant. Something happened here. Ah, yep, I know what happened there. That was silly. Glad I got that on tape for everybody to see. All right, you guys probably cringed as soon as you saw me do that initially. In case you don't realize what happened, which obviously I didn't at first, when I removed that road to go ahead and put the sand in here, it basically, this is no longer usable. So I need to put a road back in place. That was a very silly move on my part, and that's an understatement. So for those of you that are laughing at me, these are the kind of mistakes I've been making. A new build, it's going to happen. So I'll rebuild this, set that up, and I'll probably put the sand here. Not a big deal. I'll lose a little bit of time, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine, as my wife says. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you all enjoy this video. Again, I'll let you know how I do. I hope you all are enjoying the new reward system. I think it's great. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.